the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a look at this right here in the event store that you might think, well, why should I bother with this? Well, before you spend
Money,
you should learn what is valuable in this one. And the reason it's important is because this currency up here, top right, the Borg War Funds, have actually been reused several times throughout the few years. I know, that's crazy. I just informed you of a currency that got reused. Like, wow. Okay, I'm being stupid again as I typically do, but seriously, Scopely never reuses currency. So, we need to take a look at what is valuable in this. The first thing I'm actually going to bust out is back out and talk about Locutus. So, there are fleet commanders in the game, and the value to whether they are valuable or not is kind of personal opinion. And until you hit building level 40, plus all the other hoopla they've thrown in now, you can only have one at a time. But is he actually any valuable? Well, I actually have Locutus. Let me talk about what he can do. So the permanent bonuses are the things that I typically like to focus on most. That doesn't mean that that's all the value that they provide, but permanent repair speed boost, that is nice and it is valuable. Then you've got the increasing damage against solo and group armadas. This has value even though it's only 220%. It's not really going to help you on a Borg solo because that massive research bonus that those get, but will help you in other solos and regular armadas, and especially with everybody building critical builds and isolated cascade and all these, big things they keep throwing in. Well, this actually does have a little bit of help. And then you finally have this one over here, which is increasing on mitigation stats while cloaked, which is a little bit of a meh, but at the same time is not terrible. It's not terrible. Then you come up here and you'll see increasing damage against specific armada types. The Admiral tree has a lot of goodies, and then get down to the very end, increasing mitigation versus armadas. With them releasing D-Space armadas and stronger armadas here in the game, this could have some value for you. Come over here to the mechanic side, you see increasing max hull health when you have them active. That's actually really good. Granted, you've got to have command center 50 and the spot for them. But early on, even in the combatant side, you see over here increasing on mitigation stats against players. So a little bit of PvP, and that's kind of the theme of Borg Locutus is armadas and PvP are where he brings the most value, though he does have a couple of good always on traits. And then you'll see here just increasing dodge, making specific ships like the interceptors stronger. Should you go after Borg Locutus with your war funds? Honestly, there's some good value there. I'm not going to sit here and say that there's not. The question is, how long is it going to take you to unlock him? And I always like to talk about going after things that are going to take a long time to unlock. And Locutus is one of them. Now let me jump to the thing that I think is probably number one, or should be number one on everybody's list. This guy. That's because there is no real sourcing for Hugh besides sporadic events and level 40 plus players. So if you're a newer or a lower level player in the game going right now saying, hey, who do I go after? Hugh. Hugh is the best PvE officer in the game. Bar none, hands down, doesn't matter. Argue with somebody else. If they tell you anybody else, they're simply not right. This is the best hostile officer in the game. Whether you're going after traders, freebooters, freaking Q's trials, everybody gets a benefit from Hugh. The only thing that he's not necessarily as good at is maybe the traders because they only have that one shot. You can see how his ability actually works right there. It's the below deck ability that has so much value in the game. And in terms of how much cost he is, well, here he is right there. So if you have 30,000, I've got 40,000. I did not push really hard on this event structure. That would have given me 5 to 10 shards. And I'm not saying that is an easy unlock path, but I am saying that this has a lot of value to start working towards in the game. Because if you want to do this game right, in my opinion, you want to try to do it easy mode. Easy mode means working less. People in the comment section who have Hugh can talk about his value. This isn't to say that there aren't other valuable officers. Galinar can provide some value for things like our grinding. Look down here, increases actin, venom, and nanoprobes. Both of those being grinds that people still have to do to this day, and nobody gets really excited about going and doing the acting grind. But at the same time, is Galinar more important than Hugh? No, but he is important. I can understand somebody who maybe already has Hugh going and unlocking Galinar. The other thing, though, is to kind of keep in mind, like, do you bite in on some of the other stuff? They really pushed the Borg Queen, Dazok, and Gozu at the beginning of the year as an addition to the PvP meta. But with so many of these fights now not even lasting one round, these three guys are kind of meh. I'm not saying they're terrible. If you want to go after them, fine. But like armor piercing buff below decks when assimilated, that's not helping you. Now, this can help you in solo armadas. So keep that in mind for the Borg Queen. Look at Dazog down here. He's the one that can apply assimilate. And keep in mind that there are abilities that, work just based on any state in existence for the opponent's ship. And then finally goes the last but not least. And then there's another mitigation / piercing type of a boost. And again, with none of these lasting very long, that doesn't have much value in the game. Doesn't mean that it's terrible. Remember the actual ability of assimilate, not just the officer abilities that work off of it. Let me pull up Dazok real quick to remind you how assimilate works. I do appreciate Scopely including this in Dazok's actual description. You can actually go to Dazok and it tells you how assimilate works. So if we go down to adapt and assimilate, when a ship is affected by assimilate, officer abilities have their effectiveness reduced by 25%. So a little bit of a negative 25% efficiency there. Again, I'm not trying to say that it's great. I'm simply trying to make sure that you know what's there. Overall, I think the biggest two pieces of value in this event store with this currency that they do rerun at least once or twice a year has got to be Hugh and then Locutus. But there are still some other things. You could even roll the dice and go for, these, which you should have been able to do anyway. I'm actually going to do it on screen if you did the events. So let's see what I get here on my roll. I got 2 6 of 11 shards, 1 Dazok, Goza, and some nano probes. No Hugh shards for Rev on this one. I think I have one more pull, and I'll see no Hugh shards. So again, the importance, because when they do a lot of these rolls, they don't show you the percentage. I'll go ahead and tell you. The percentage chance of pulling Hugh is a heck of a lot lower than pulling the minors. See where it says epic 24% chance? The Hugh version of that is a lot lower of that 24%. So when you're targeting these officers who you want to go after, that has to be number one. Now, if you haven't picked up your Vidar yet, level 25 players, then you can go ahead and use this as a way to maybe speed that sourcing up. I won't judge you for it. And those curious over these, yes, 5 of 11, still valuable. But more important than Hugh? No, but you are right, still valuable. You come down here, Mega Cube directives to complete the event. If you have not gone through that cycle, that can help get that started. But it really, short end of it is Hugh and Locutus. It's front loaded to the important stuff are in the front. But I'm also definitely open to hearing what everybody else says in the comment section below. There's been a lot of discussion in my Discord about this here in the past couple days. But if you enjoyed it, a little quick hitter here, not trying to take up all your time, all your day, but I appreciate you. We love Star Trek. We love this game. We love this community. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces. That's me. Catch you on the next one. We're out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.